All right, Shalom, Shalom. This is Brother Mayam coming at you from GMS Tampa Bay. First and foremost, I want to give all the praise and all the glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ruchah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out this truth and sincerity. And just want to do a quick video, quick breaking news. Donald Trump is sending warships out to, the area out there by, Venezuela. It says here, this is the article pulled up. It says U.S. warships to patrol international waters around Venezuela as Trump vows to stop cartels. At least 3 destroyers and 4,000 troops deployed over several months will spy with spy planes and submarine support. And I'll let this little clip here play. Lord's will, you can hear it. It's a quick little 30-second video, but just play this real quick. Just listen up. Again, breaking news. More wild to the devil.
About the 3 U.S. warships that are being sent to Venezuela, and there's 4,000 Marines on board. Are you looking at possibility of boots on the ground there?
What I will say with respect to Venezuela, President Trump has been very clear and consistent. He's prepared to use every element of American power to stop drugs from flooding into our country and to bring those responsible to justice. The Maduro regime is not the legitimate government of Venezuela. It is a narco-terror cartel. In Maduro, it is the view of this administration, is not a...
So they've labeled... You see how these devils are just label you any kind of, anything that they want to justify, sending in their military to bring your ass down and to overcome you. Now, the Maduro government, which is the legitimate, voted in president of Venezuela because they try to get Juan Guaido, I believe that was the guy's name, that America tried to set up as a leader. That was not a legitimate running person. If he would have got into office, that would not have been the legitimate ruler or president of Venezuela, because he was set up through America, or he was trying to be set up, but it didn't work. Okay, so now they're labeling the Maduro presidency in his office, his government that he's ruling, a terrorist cartel organization. How about that? You see, this is why the scriptures tell you. As a matter of fact, let's get this in Psalms 55. This devil he's just a straight up liar, man. All right, Psalms 53. Or it's like 58. Or is it 55? Yeah, 58. Psalms 58 and 3, it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth their ear. And that's what this devil does, man. His lies, he does nothing but lie. And his lies he spreads all over the earth. And it's those lies seeps into the minds of those that hear them. And it poisons and pollutes their minds into believing the lies, man. And that's why the devil has been able to conquer the earth and remain in power and quell the attitude of the people, because people have fallen for his trickery. All right, his witchcraft, because him speaking his lies, man, is a form of witchcraft that Esau does, man. Okay, that's exactly what it is. His lies is a form of witchcraft. That's why he puts it. Most of his lies are pushed through what? The media. Okay, which is the medium from which he does his witchcraft. Okay. So let me go also to Psalms 55. There's one I wanted to get in here. This is Psalms 55 and 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. See, this devil ain't trying to. It sounds good, like he's trying to stop drugs from coming in, and look, they're, the war on drugs is coming back around. This time it's going international. It's no longer we're fighting the war on drugs here in the streets of America. We're actually going to go to the source of where these drugs are going. So it sounds smooth. It sounds good. But what? War is in his heart, and that's all this devil is thinking, man. Is how can he overcome you Negroes, Latinos, and you Native Americans, man, you Israelites. Okay? Because that's all he wants to do is, as it talks about in Habakkuk chapter 1, or chapter 2, verse 4, it says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, and that, again, that wine is his philosophies, his lies that he spews all over the earth, and people gobble that shit up. They drink that shit up real good. All the lies of this damn devil, man. It says he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. And that's what this devil's doing, man. He can't keep his ass still. He got to be somewhere, someplace doing some shit. All right. It says, who enlarges his desire is hell and is as death. And that's why he's likened onto that in Revelation chapter 6, that red horse, man, where hell followed. Or the pale horse, whichever one it is, man. It's either verse 4 or verse 8. But that's all this devil does, man. Everywhere he goes, his death follows, man. And it says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. You see? That's what he's doing, man. This devil can't be satisfied. He can't sit still, man. He can't be satisfied with what he got. He got to continue to just keep on bullshitting and keep on lying his way into other countries, man. So that he can just rule over the people and be a goddamn devil through his lies, man. All right, but Psalms 55 and verse 21, back to that, it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. You see? Yet, it says, his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, man. And that's what this devil's doing. 4,000 troops, really? 4,000 troops, warships, submarines. She over here talking about everything in their power to stop these drugs from coming into the country. What does that mean? What does that mean, man? But let's keep playing this video.
Legitimate president. He is a fugitive head of this cartel who has been indicted in the United States for trafficking drugs into the country.
You see? So now this man is an enemy number one. Says this article reads, the U.S. military has sent destroyers and thousands of Marines towards Venezuela as President Donald Trump doubles down on deadly drug cartels. At least 3 Aegis guided missile destroyers, USS Gravely and USS Jason Dunham, among them, are part of the mission, a source familiar with the situation told Fox News. Says the officials added that the ships will arrive in the region in the coming days. Known for their versatility in combat systems, the ships can counter threats from land, sea, and air simultaneously. The ship's Tomahawk cruise missiles can launch long-range land attacks. The USS Gravely... So Venezuela is about to turn into a war zone, man. These people over there have been getting starved out because of the sanctions that America has been putting on them. Okay, they've already been devastated economically. Now Esau Edom is getting ready to roll up in there and just wreak havoc with missiles, man. Okay, just start shooting indiscriminately, and people are going to be eating that shit up. Okay, and all that's going to cause is more turmoil, more uproars of the people, man. Because people are getting the world is at its breaking point with dealing with America, man. That's just what it is. That's where we're at. Okay, and this ain't going to continue to go on much longer, man. These devils are getting ready to be taken out of the way, and the Lord is going to have it to where these devils shoot themselves in the foot, because they're going to spread themselves too thin. They're going to spread themselves way too far to the point to where they're not going to be able to fight all these different battles at one particular time. They're going to have to retreat. Okay, they're going to have to deal with with these other nations fighting back and winning these battles. Okay, and one thing about these ships, matter of fact, I was just having this conversation the other day on ChatGPT. All right, and I had asked, I said, does the U.S. military have? Well, let me go back up one. I said, is it possible to weaponize frequencies to alter behavior in a community? All right, and then it goes on through some physics, some military and research content, which in the military, it says there has been real-world experiments with directed energy, microwave auditory effect, active denial systems, infrared and ultrasound. It brings up a point about frequencies altering behavior at scale. And then I asked it, does the U.S. military have such weapons in stock? It says, you're asking a serious and important question. Does the U.S. military possess directed energy weapons, weapons like lasers or microwave systems that could be used as crowd control tools or to intentionally influence human behavior? And then it goes on and it lists a bunch of different weapons here that the U.S. military has. And I'll name them because the name should stand out to you in a particular way. It says the system or the type of weapon. It says one of them is called Helios, okay, which is deployed on one destroyer. It doesn't name the destroyer, but it says drone and small craft destruction sensor denial. Okay, so again, these are laser and frequency weapons. The second one is called Laws. Prototype trial. They say ship defense against aerial maritime threats. The next one is Odin. Is deployed on 8 destroyers. It has sensor, dazzling, non-lethal. It says DM Shorod prototypes in field. It says vehicle-mounted counter UAS support. Thor is a prototype which is in testing. It says disables drone swarms via microwave pulses. And it says others. It says Shield, etc. Under development testing. Various counter UAS and base defense roles. It says, yes, the U.S. military maintains and is actively testing a range of directed energy weapons, including lasers and high-power microwaves. However, these are strictly deployed for military defense purposes, such as neutralizing drones or missiles, not for behavioral manipulation of humans. Right. Bullshit, because that's exactly what they used out there in Panama. And Panama ain't too far away from Venezuela, man. Just look up the Panama Deception. Watch that documentary. Okay, because that's what these devils have done. They've used these weapons in the past to as testing grounds. Okay, and they have them on these ships. Okay, so don't be surprised if you start to see things, pop off, with these ships and them testing out more of these weapons out there in Venezuela. You start seeing these things on Reddit and and such things. Because that's what these devils do, man. War is in these devils' hearts. Okay, and that's why even you have with this whole peace talks with Russia, that shit ain't gonna. They know damn well there ain't gonna be no peace talks, man. There ain't gonna be no shutting down nothing. War is in these devils' hearts. The Lord has put it there. They have a purpose to fulfill up on the earth, and that purpose has to be fulfilled. It's not gonna return unto the Lord void, man. That spirit of war that the Lord has put in these devils is not gonna return unto the Lord void. It's going to accomplish that which pleases the Lord, man. Okay. So this is what this devil is doing, man. And good for you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Hey, man, you need to suffer so that you can learn to come back to the Heavenly Father, man. And if you don't, then hey, so be it. Then you'll die, and then you'll know. Okay? So just wanted to do that quick little, video on this. This is an ongoing thing. All right, it says on day 1 of the Trump administration, the president published an executive order designating drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. You see, this was the whole setup. This thing was all set up. Okay? It says clearly identifying them as a direct threat to the national security of the United States. Chief Pentagon spokesman Sean Purnell said these cartels have engaged in historic violence and terror throughout our hemisphere and around the globe that has destabilized economies and internal security of countries, but also flooded the United States with deadly drugs, violent crimes, and vicious gangs. And America is the one that's brought about destabilization of economies and internal security of countries, man. They're the ones that have destabilized the economies of the world. They're the ones that have destabilized the internal security of countries, man. And they're also the ones that have flooded this very country with drugs and these criminals and the gangs that you see out here, the so-called gangs, man. All right, these devils again created the problem, and now they come in with the solution. Order out of chaos, man. Don't put nothing past these devils, So with that, Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders apostles of Great Millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the 4 corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out this truth in its truth and sincerity. And with that, I say Shalom.